Pokemon Ultimate Adventures by Mikazuki. If you can't use it, Ash Ketchum, then all my efforts will have been wasted, and I must once again begin my search for the one who can wield this power. The power that will change the very world. Ebby! Ash snapped him back to attention. Weren't you listening? I said we don't know the location of the Missigno Gang's base. Not to mention, there's a ton of Team Rocket agents wandering about. We can't go walking around the whole city looking for trouble. Interrupting my monologues like that. The kid's got no concept of dramatic suspense. Ebby grumbled silently. I've been digging around town for information, and got a tip on the gang's location. It's on the west side of town, a rough area. If we're willing to go there, we'd best be prepared. I'm ready to go if you are, Ash, said Misty. We're good to go, said Brock and Tracy. I'm also prepared for battle, replied Ebby. But, Ebby, you don't fight, said Brock. Shut up! Ebby snapped at him. All right, let's go! Everyone nodded in affirmation and started walking, with Ash leading the way. Hey, Ash, said Misty as she walked next to him. You know, back there, when you fought those guys and freed the Pokemon, you really were cool. Thanks. That really means a lot coming from you, Ash smiled. I was right to feel safer having you around. She smiled at him. You'll always be around to protect us, right? Of course! You can depend on it! Ash grinned, holding her hand. Ebby, Tracy, and Brock smirked as they watched Ash and Misty in front of them, chatting happily, laughing together while holding each other's hands. They'd known for a long time that they were attracted to each other, and after spending all this time concentrated on fighting, seeing the two of them like this really lifted their spirits. Location: Scarlet City, West. The group was walking down the empty streets, led by Ash, who was holding a piece of paper. The place they were in was definitely not a safe-looking area. All these dirty buildings boarded up, graffiti over the walls, trash cans spilling over. This certainly looks like the type of place we'd find them, Brock commented, looking around. Everyone was keeping a watchful eye. Walking around this area made them feel very uneasy. We're in a dangerous district. Even without the Missigno gang running around, I'd avoid coming to places like this, said Ebby. Come on, guys! Nothing to fear! We've been to places worse than this, and plus, I'm stronger than anyone you'll find running around here, Ash grinned. Suddenly, Pikachu's ears rose up, sensing trouble. Huh? What's wrong, Pikachu? Pika! Pika! Pikachu's cheeks started crackling. What is it, Ash? Pikachu says it's trouble, Ash answered, reaching for the Quicksilver. Ah! Huh? The group turned around and gasped, seeing punks from the Missigno gang, the same guys who'd attacked Ash earlier, flying through the air and hitting the ground, landing in a large pile. What the? Stupid punks, picking a fight with me of all people! A lone figure stepped into the scene, and any questions the group would have had about what had happened to these people were immediately answered. Cleft looked up, noticing Ash. You! Ash immediately moved in front of the group and stood protectively, equipping the Quicksilver and placing one hand over his belt, while Pikachu jumped down from his shoulders and electricity gathered at his cheeks. Ow, it's you again, the Super Fiend grumbled as he continued limping, his left hand pressed against the wall for support. What do you want? I should be asking the same question, Ash growled, taking a fighting stance. Although the man was still injured from the Kaiser Beast, Ash knew that Cleft was nothing like those punks. He was a real threat. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you wanted to fight me right now. Cleft glared seriously at Ash, not showing any weakness, even in his condition. I do hope your recent string of victories, a number of them being flukes no less, hasn't filled your head with delusions of invincibility. His left hand clenched into a fist. Everyone gasped, when Clef punched a hole in the brick wall. "You really want to fight me?" said Cleft, ripping a chunk out and crushing it with his bare hands, dropping the bits to the ground. Ash growled, but tried to remain calm. This man wasn't lying about his strength, especially with that group of punks he had totally decimated in even less time than Ash. However, Clef dropped his shoulders and casually shrugged. "Nah, I'm not going looking for a fight. If I was, I would have attacked you by now." Placing his hands in his pockets, he walked right past the group. "I'm just taking a walk to clear my head. Except those stupid gang members keep popping up everywhere. It's like a bloody infestation." "We're actually trying to get rid of the gang," Ash spoke, lowering his arms, positive that Cleft wasn't going to attack him. "Oh, really?" Cleft raised an eyebrow. "You'd certainly be doing everyone a favor. I'm a wanted criminal, and even I don't like them. Come to think of it, the only reason you guys are fighting my group is because of that gang." He scratched the back of his head. "It was a big mistake for us getting involved with them. We ended up tarnishing our records, associating with thugs that are clearly beneath us." "Well, I guess we'll be going," said Ash, eyeing his group, which seemed eager to get away from the fiend, and for good reason. "Hold it," Clef spoke up, and Ash stopped. "There's something you should know before going after the gang. While the gang consists of average punks and third-rate Pokemon trainers, their leader is different." "Different? How?" asked Tracy. "He's dangerous," said Cleft in a serious tone. "I've only met him once, but I can honestly say he's by far the strongest man this city's ever produced. The Super Fiends first came to this city hearing of that man's strength. We wanted to see if he was worth recruiting. He made the cut, but he had no interest in joining, and to make things even sadder, we somehow wound up with Doppelganger instead. Just watch out for him, or you may wind up dead." "Okay, and thanks for the information," said Ash as the group left the fiend. "Goodbye, I guess." Clef crossed his arms and sighed. He and Ash's group were supposed to be enemies, through and through, but somehow he couldn't help but feel slightly concerned for the boy. Probably Sky's interest in the kid rubbing off on me. "So, that's it? You're just gonna let them go ahead and have all the fun?" a voice spoke up. "Huh?" Clef turned around. "Bonsai!" he gasped, seeing his comrade standing right next to him. "How? When did you get here?" "You blinked," Bonsai smirked. "I turn around for 1 second, and you end up in this sorry state." He eyed Clef's wounds. "What happened? Ketchum do this to you?" "Course not!" Cleft answered indignantly. "No, it wasn't him. Otherwise, I'd be in much better shape. The one who attacked me was the Red Kaiser." "You're not serious?" Bonsai shouted in disbelief, his relaxed expression suddenly changing, but Cleft nodded gravely. "Damn! If he's here, it means they have already reached this region!" he growled, clenching his fists tight. "We gotta warn the others, and we have to get out of here soon, because now that they've moved in, it won't be long till this whole region falls under their control," Clef said seriously. "And I'm warning you, Bonsai, and you better tell Ketchum too," he spoke. "I tried to fight Red Kaiser, but what happened there couldn't have been called a fight, just a one-sided slaughter. Everything about him, his strength, his ruthlessness, his insanity, I was completely overwhelmed," Clef growled, trembling at the memory. "After I was defeated, he left me for dead, to be food for the Kaiser Beast, which Ketchum and his friends were able to destroy. However, the Kaiser Beast was nothing but a pit, because the real monster was that man." Clef spoke seriously, with a panicked expression in his eyes. "Only a fool would try to fight that monster. If you ever encounter him, run, because to fight him will only mean death." Bonsai stared at his companion. Cleft was an incredibly strong fighter. He'd proven that many times over. But for him, a super fiend, to be so afraid of one man, This Red Kaiser must really be a monster. Too bad for Ketchum, though. Even if we told him this, let's face it, he's a proud idiot. He won't back down from a challenge. If anything, hearing about Red Kaiser will just make him stay here and even go looking for him. Ketchum may have grown strong, but with Red Kaiser involved, it will mean nothing when faced against that man. Then are you thinking what I'm thinking? Asked Cleft. Yeah, Bonsai nodded. The only way Ketchum will leave this city is when the Masigno gang is defeated. They both smirked. Let's lend him a hand and speed up the battle! The two of them nodded and ran off, but suddenly stopped. Where is the gang's hideout anyway?